What's up guys, this is me Ahmed Nasir and you're watching The Drop. Guys, today we discuss about theatre, acting and art. I have a guest with me who have featured on stage and on screen. Fahad, glad to have you here.
It's glad to be here.
So Fahad, tell us a little about yourself. Where have you worked before? What have you worked before?
Basically, I come from a theatre background. I was a part of my university's dramatic society. I served as the president. Then later on, I went on and served as a production team artist for a few companies in Lahore. Then later on, I now run my Facebook channel called Collab, in which we basically cover comic skits, social issues, as well as vlogging.
So Fahad, as you said, you have worked on stage and on screen. So what is the major difference we see between a TV screen and a theatre stage?
As an artist, as a performer, and as a person who has been on both of these formats, what I felt was that the major difference is basically in terms of theatre. Whenever you're concerned by performing on stage, you have to be more vocal, you have to be more assertive in terms of your body language, your footwork is also involved. Apart from that, a lot of theatricalities comes into play. Whereas whenever you're trying to portray your emotions on camera, I felt that basically you have to be a lot more restricted in terms of movement. Your acting goes mostly through your face. You have to express and be able to convey that directly into the lens. And I feel that some sort of a restriction towards certain people, because basically I primarily have my own preference coming from a theatre background. So whenever I was on stage, I felt that I was being controlled through those angles. But whereas both of these formats are terrific in terms of it, because on theatre, whenever you're performing on stage, you can be as raw and explicit as you can. Whereas in terms of your camera experience, or in terms of being able on the 15 screen, you have to be more conveyed into those angles and being more divergent and obedient towards your camera.
And not to forget the perk of quick feedback, which only a live performer enjoys.
Exactly. The audience is able to tell and comment upon every single gesture or dialogue that you're able to throw at them, because the amount of reception that you have in terms of theatre, be it your walk, be it your talk, be it any sort of dialogue that is being confronted on, it's so explicit that they instantly are able to comprehend and being able to cognitively have the reception that they're being able to that the observer is able to tell. Whereas in TVs and acting is involved on camera, you have to wait as far as the final product is finished and as it is finished out. So you have to basically trust your director, trust your editing crew to be able to bring out the best in you, because you're at their mercy. So whereas in theatre, you're the only boss of your own production and your own performance.
So Fahad, how long does it take to prepare for a theatre show?
A theatre show basically involves a few factors, whereas concerned, basically the first thing is our script. The next thing that we will move on to is your acting. The third is being productions. So production is probably the most lengthiest of all those factors, because you have to prepare a lot of stage props to set up. You have to look into the costumes of the performers, as well as all the theatricalities that are going to be unveiled in the final show. The first 2 weeks is basically concerned with the director of the stage play, the person who wrote the script, the actors involved. They sit down, they basically try to commemorate whatever they have in terms of character sketches, in terms of the plot, in terms of the contribution, what they're going to have with their characters. Later on, they move on to their rehearsals, which shift from the studio towards the stage, and then finally towards their dressed costume rehearsals, which is the final phase of the rehearsals.
So what made you choose this field of profession, this medium of expression?
I think maybe the theatre life chose me. I didn't choose it, because I always found myself that I wasn't that much of an extrovert whenever I try to recall myself when I was in my college or in my school level, because I used to be a very timid and very shy kind of a person.
It must be hard for you.
Exactly. I didn't have the slightest clue that I had this sort of a personality, a dual personality in me, which comes out on stage and is able to perform and express in crowds of enormous number. Because the medium is so beautiful. Whenever you try to think on whenever the people that are able to experience theatre, live theatre, they are able to take back such key and important issues that it's just beautiful to be a part of it.
Any future goals regarding this field?
Well, one of my goals in intermediate was to perform at Alhambra, and that has been, alhamdulillah, knocked off several times. Now I want to expand my horizons towards a certain few other companies that I wish to work on as a portfolio for a performer, because those privileged institutes such as the Joka and Azad Theatre are a dream for any performer to be a part of.
Thank you, Fahad, for being on the show. It was lovely talking to you. So guys, I hope you learned a thing or two about theatre, acting and art. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, bye-bye.
We're really excited to share fantastic content with you
on all the fun topics.
Please subscribe to our channel by
clicking on the subscribe button below.